Miles44, and I'm here with a Cardfight Vanguard, Cardfight area deck profile. Today's deck profile with the release of BT16 version E. We have the Alfred that is in Legion because I had no catchy thing to say about him. So yeah, Light Origin Seeker, Alfred Exiv. I don't know if it's Jiv, it's like, it's supposed to be a number. I'm pretty sure it's Jiv though, but because everybody says Jiv, I believe. Anywho, so yeah, with the release of this card, release of BT16 version E, this baby's out, and it is the better version as well of Seeker Thing Saver Dragon. This is going to be like a version 2.0 of Seeker Thing Saver Dragon as well. So if you want to see the version 1, there's the thumbnail. Here we see it. But yeah, this is basically the better version of Seeker Thing Saver Dragon, and it's also the Alfred Exiv version. So I was like, okay, well they're basically both the same thing. So I guess maybe I'm not gonna do it twice. I'm not gonna upload it twice. So this is the confirmed deck profile of Exiv and Seeker Thing Saver Dragon 2.0. So this is the much more efficient way of doing it, basically. Just for pressure and pluses and just consistency. Anywho, so yeah, I will say, yeah, let's jump right into that profile. I'm not doing version, BT17 yet because there's actually not too many decks I've played from BT17. Novas have been the only one I've played, and I mean, I haven't played any of the others, so I will get some practice on them and play them a bit, and then I will jump over to that. So I might as well finish off the BT16 version E deck profiles, since after this one it's Prominence Glare, and I think that's it other than the Ogre one, which is not going to be my deck profile. It's somebody else's going to do it, but yeah, it's somebody else's deck that I'll just have guest star again. Anywho, so yeah, our starter is Advanced Party Seeker file, same starter, just same thing. Get your Blaster Blade out. Maybe get a Counter Blast off. This deck can utilize the Counter Blast differently, since Alfred's skill lets him superior call something with a Counter Blast of 2. If you don't, it's the same thing as if you don't get that grade 2, that Counter Blast when you Legion to superior call something, use Advanced Party to get Blaster Blade and retire something, because you know what, you can. So and it gets you a free grade 2. So tutor card, always good. Yeah, so same starter, because I've been hearing around that Seekers aren't the greatest, but they're still pretty viable. And I mean, yeah, it's Gold Paladin and Norakami and stuff that are pretty ridiculous. But anyways, so yeah, and then we have 4 on the grade 3s. And we have 4 Light Origin Seeker Alfred Exiv. His Legion mate is Blaster Blade Seeker. And his Legion, is this his Legion skill? Yeah, I think this is his Legion skill. Yep. Sorry. During your turn, if this unit is in Legion, this unit gets power plus 1000 for each other unit you have with Seeker in its card name. Then, if the number of rear guards you have is 5 or more, this unit gets critical plus 1. And then its other skill, I know it's kind of cut off. That's another thing about Cardfight area that I don't like. But I know what the skill is. Maybe they could, like, if they had some scrolling thing, that'd be perfect. I don't know why they don't make it scroll. I don't know why they make it fly off the page. Alright, so I just went to check the wiki real quick. It said it's, yeah, it is Exiv. It's Exiv, because it starts with the E, apparently. I don't know. That's says the card says, and the card says it too, so maybe that's how you spell it. Anyways, so yeah, it's Counter Blast 2 Seekers. Search your deck for one Seeker and call it to a rear. It's like, oh, doesn't matter what grade. normally you fish for grade 1 or grade 2. And maybe if you want to empty out some of your Alfred Givs because you're going to aim for something else after, you can get one of those. But yeah, basically with him, he's just another one of those crit units early on. We see that really common. We see that a lot, and recently, because it's just popular. A nice combo you can do with him is when you Legion, you can use Advanced Party to get Blaster Blade, Counterblast, retire something, and then Counterblast 2 for Jiv, and then Superior Call grade 1 behind Blaster Blade, or somewhere else. And it kind of sets it up a little bit. So it's pretty solid. I mean, it's a lot better, in my opinion. This deck is a lot better than the Seeker Thing Saver Dragon deck that I did. It's more consistent and such, and I mean, you pressure with power and crit early on, and then you finish off with crazy, ridiculous stuff too. So, yeah, just a really solid thing. The two options are you can use, because with Jiv, you're only going to use Counterblast once. Your other grade 3 only once, and then you have a choice between using either Blaster Blade's Counterblast or the grade 2 that's Superior Call something, depending on what situation you're in, or depending on if you even got to use the other grade 2. If not, just use Blaster Blades. But yeah, let's move on to our other grade 3. So 4, Seeker Thing Saver Dragon. So you remember this guy from the deck profile? Yeah. So restanding Vanguard, beautiful finisher. Just basically what you want to do is just pressure with Alfred Jiv until your opponent hits like 4 damage, and then go into Seeker Thing Saver Dragon and try to end the game from there. And that's basically about it. You just try to end the game from there, and it's done. It's a pretty simple strategy, but it works really efficiently. Alfred Jiv with crits and extra power, Superior Call a couple things, and using the Seeker Thing Saver Dragon to just clean up and end the game. So it's a really, really standard, consistent lineup. I don't know why my taskbar decided to... Why did it appear? Alright, anyways, let's move on to our grade 2. So we have 4 Blaster Blade Seeker. Of course, your Legion mate for both of them. So you kind of have to run it, the newer art, because it looks cool. It's for Alfred Jiv because it is. And then we have 4 Seeker Light Blaze Dragon. You remember this guy as well, the one that gives power if he hits to 5,000 to another unit. I found him a lot more useful in this deck to run 4. I know Seeker Thing Saver Dragon, I ran 3 of this because you wanted some superior calls and such, but with some of the superior calls you get from Alfred Jiv and Gildas, and even maybe retire something with Blaster Blade Seeker, I found that this card you could play 4 in this deck just because of the fact you're only going to use those counterblasts like once, so it's kind of dead after that, and you don't really want to use it too much. You just kind of want to use it. So this card was a lot better just because it kind of gave extra power on top of the Alfred power and crit to units as early as possible, and I mean, it's a good finisher because if it hits, something gets extra 5k, but that means you have to guard this card. So, and it's the scary column of this column can attack first and then go with Seeker, and then the last column to kind of, okay, well, if you guard this, you might not be able to guard the next one, but if you don't guard this, you might pull the trigger, but 5k still goes over to the other side. Yeah, it's that very good push card. So yeah, just very, very solid for this deck, and better to run 4 because it just works throughout the game. Whereas Thing Saver, you kind of want it to play a little more, not super rushed down really. So this one just kind of works more because if Alfred crit doesn't hit. You're just like, okay, I'm just gonna pressure with my other columns. Beautiful. And then we have 3 Lightning Bow Seeker Gildas. So yeah, as I said, you really only want to run 3 because you know, you're using 2 counterblasts for Thing Saver and you're using 2 for Alfred Exiv. You're gonna have 1 left. I mean, you could play a damage on Flipper, but it's really rare it's gonna hit. And if it does hit, it doesn't give you much. So really, you're just gonna play 3 of this as well. And I mean, the pressure's nice to try to unflip, but you're not gonna get Thing Saver's skill off again or Alfred Exiv. You want Gildas' skill for the Legion. You want to try to aim for him still, instead of using Blaster Blade skill. If you have to use Blaster Blade, you will, but aim for his skill when you Legion, because it's really, really helpful to get you pluses that you need. So yeah, anyways, let's move on to grade 1s. So we have 3 Guardian Law Seeker Shiron, so 3 perfect guards, and 1 Seeker Plume Wall Angel, so a quintet wall. And then we have 3 Flail Seeker Hasbado, so you know the card that you get calling up +4, good for pressuring late game. I only play 3 in this deck. I know the last time I played 4 with Thing Saver, but there's actually another card I was able to play, and 4 is a little much for this card, but there aren't really that many great grade 1s for Seekers. There's not really that many great cards for Seekers in general. So that's why I played 4 in the last deck profile with Thing Saver, because there was really nothing else, so I might as well play 4 of this and just see what happens. Maybe I could have played 4 of the 10k beaters, but yeah, so 3 is perfectly fine. For the late game pressure, you know, add another 4,000. It's kind of a scary column if you have this in a column opposite to the Blaze Dragon, where if the Blaze Dragon hits, plus 5k over the column that has this guy, well, good luck living. But I mean, playing 4 of these aren't bad. I just found that 3 is a little less cloggy and more useful. So yeah, and then we have 3 Good Faith Seeker Cynric. So your 3 10k beaters, still running 3 of them because they're solid. Actually no, I can run 3 of them now because another card to play. I ran 4 in the last one because again, nothing to play. Nothing good to play. But yeah, 3 10k beaters. You don't really need more than that. So yeah. And then we have 2 Sacred Wielding Seeker Octavius. So if you don't know what he or she does, I can't tell if it's a boy or girl. You Soul Blast 2, and when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if the number of Vanguard and or rear guards you have with Seeker in its card name, the front row is 3 or more, you can pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So it's a 7k Soul Blast 2, draw 1. If you have 3 units in the front row, which is easy when you have Legion and then another one. So yeah, it's really easy to get it off, and it's solid because it's a 7k, so you could throw it anywhere you want and be like, alright, behind Blaster Blade, Soul Blast 2, draw, yay! But it's much more solid, and I mean, with Thing Saver Dragon, you have to Soul Blast, I think it's 3. I don't know, is it 2 or 3? It doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to make is you will have enough soul with File, and then your grade 1, grade 2, Alfred, and then Seeker won't be in the Thing Saver won't be in the soul, but I believe Thing Saver is Soul Blast 2. I don't know. I mean, you could just a lot of the time. Yeah, okay, it's Soul Blast 3. So normally what I try to do is I try to ride Alfred Exiv a second time, because what I'll try to do is get her skill off, because since you're not going to use the soul a second time because you're not you're gonna use Thing Savers skill a second time. You use Alfred Exiv's once, and you're gonna use Thing Savers, and then there's 4 counterblast. Well, it's done. Because you probably already used Gildas or Blaster Blade Seeker skill. So normally what you try to do is ride Alfred Exiv a second time, so you have 5 in the soul, so you can use hers earlier on. You want to make sure you get that ride, or else Thing Saver can't do crap. So if you don't get it, try to avoid using her skill. But she's a solid +1 card, so if you ride Alfred Exiv on Alfred Exiv, just call her out afterwards, after you Legion, and I mean, re-legioning is always really good. Throw cards back in the deck, get triggers back in, reactivate triggers. So they're always very, very good and helpful. And she just kind of gives you a plus. So it's really, really solid, and helps with the deck really well. You know, yeah, just helps get your pluses, because as you can tell, Gildas is 1+, Alfred is another, and she's kind of your 3rd plus card. So just really, really important. You only need to run 2 because you're only going to use your skill once, but yeah, just really, really good card for this deck. And then we have 2 Grynngal Seeker, same thing as before. Kind of want to just throw it behind the Vanguard, try to pressure with it, and put cards you don't want to the bottom of the deck, like a Thing Saver, a second Thing Saver that you have, like if you have 2 in your hand, put one at the bottom of the deck, because when you re-ride, it could be from the bottom. It could be the one at the bottom of the deck. Who cares? So yeah, and then you draw cards. So you know, like a center column pressure card to add more pressure to the center column, as if there wasn't enough already with the crit and the power. And so yeah, solid card for that as well. And then onto our triggers, we have 4 Certain Kill Seeker Modoron, and 4 Seeker Herald Breath Dragon, so 8 crit, 4 Messegal Seeker, 4 draw, and 4 Seeker Loving Healer, and 4 heal. So yeah, this deck is much, much more solid than the Thing Saver Dragon version 1.0 deck, because this is 2.0, as I said, and also Xiv deck as well. Yeah, this deck is much more solid, plays much more smoothly, much more consistent. You know, has your enough pluses that you need. You don't have to Legion so many times just to get the pluses. I mean, you have to re-Legion once, and then ride Thing Saver and then Legion again, so it's like 3 times, but still, you don't have to worry about trying to get another Legion to get a plus, and then you might not have enough back rows or something. No, this deck has it down solid, and it makes it very consistent. It's pure calling some units that you need, pressing a shit ton. Yeah, it's a much better deck, and I think this is much better just to play. And I don't know, I think it's much more fun anyways, so but yeah, that's about it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember to go ahead and like, comment, and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. The links to my stuff will be in the description below, and so will deck list as always, so you can go check those out. And yeah, that's really about it. And yeah, Alfred Exiv, really strong. At least helped out the Royal Paladins, because the Royal Paladins aren't the strongest. So Alfred Exiv, thank you for making sorry, not Royal Paladins, Seekers. Thank you for making Seekers strong. Thank you, my good sir. Thank you. Alright, see you guys next time.